college football now. These big moves got clobbered over the weekend. Let's start with Illinois. Bet from 11.5 down to +8. Shutout against Iowa, and they made history. Illinois never kicked off. Iowa took the win both times. They kicked off to Illinois. The first 10 possessions they punted. Illinois then went interception and downs. So the Illini never kick off, and they get shut out.
Yeah, westlock came back. That's why, they said, oh, you got the quarterback back. That's what all the Illinois money was about in that ballgame. All of it. Wrong money. But that wasn't the only bad bet. There was a whole bunch of bad bets on Saturday. Oklahoma, West Virginia. What about that total? Got bet from 67.5 to 62.5. Wind and snow. That didn't bother the Oklahoma ground game. Perrine and Mixon both on the way to the NFL. Game finishes with 84 points. And all the money on the under, dead wrong. Bad bets.
San Diego State, Wyoming under. Bet from 59 down to 53.5. 67 points scored. San Diego State returns the opening kickoff for a touchdown. Another one later in the game, and they get a Hail Mary at the end. They thought they were going to tie and go to overtime. Rocky Long is a 10-point favorite. Goes for 2 in the win. They don't get it. Wyoming wins.
I like the concept, though. I'm never going to complain about a coach going for 2 and avoiding overtime. Overtime is completely random. If you think you have a team backed up on their heels, no problem. Go for the 2-point conversion, especially at the end of the game when you got a tired defense. What about UMass? They took a ton of money over BYU, +31 down to +27.5. They're on their way out to Hawaii. The Minutemen didn't care. They got a 70-yard touchdown, missed extra point, for the first score of the game. The rest of the way, outscored 51-3. BYU just laid a physical beating on that team.
Who was betting Baylor? Why were they doing that? Freshman quarterback, the team has quit. They were +2.5. They went off the favorite in that one. They lost by 3 touchdowns at home to Kansas State.
It was a ton of Baylor money. They were +2.5 to -2.5, and there were so many bad attitude games for the Bears in that plays. I call them bad attitude plays. Where a guy doesn't run his route out. He didn't run his route out of the end zone. It cost him a touchdown, and they got intercepted. That type of thing happened over and over. The FSU-Syracuse game, Florida State from 60.5 bet up to 66.5. That orange running completely different on offense without Eric Dungy at quarterback. Bad move towards the over.
Yeah, here's another one. Arizona quit on Rich Rod weeks ago. They were +7, bet down to +3 in Corvallis against the Beavers. They lost 42-17. And why in the world was TCU favored against Oklahoma State? They scored 6 points.
They weren't just favored. They took a ton of money. It went TCU -4 to -6.5, and that was all wise guy money, the sharp money. Big game day money to the Horned Frogs, and all of it was wrong. The squares beat the crap out of the sharps on that one. All Joes over the pros.
Yes, we talked about this on Thursday's show. Look out for the weather. And boy, it came in the Midwest. Bad for the books, Michigan State and the under, and Indiana and the under. It was a blizzard in Ann Arbor and 30 mile an hour winds in East Lansing.
Yeah, both of those games, there was no sweat. Underdog and under from the opening possession of the game. That was both the underdogs and the unders. Bad for the books. Most books took parlay money on the duo. Did not work out particularly well for them. And then there's the Colorado game that we cashed a ticket with here on Sportsbet. That got bet all the way up. We said Washington State, they might not go all out. And I'm surprised. The Cougs played well. The Buffs played really well down the stretch, though. Colorado from -3.5 all the way up to -6. They win the game by 2 touchdowns. That was a nice one. That was a nice result for the house. And Mike McIntyre looked pretty happy after the game. Check out that picture.
Yes, he's doing an excellent job. Coach of the year, no doubt. And they get right around. They get Utah coming up, trying to get in the Pac-12 title game. And USC again, Teddy. A ton of steam there. 10, bet up from 10 to 13.5, and they crush USC. UCLA.
Yeah, and here's the truth of it, is that the Trojan under parlay has now cashed 5 straight weeks. I stepped in front of USC this week. I thought that I'd stepped in front of them last week against Washington. I'm like, okay, this is the week. Am I dumb or dumber? Not a smart bet. Wrong. USC looked like the number 2 team in the country. Remember how badly Alabama beat them?
Oh, yeah. Embarrassing.
Embarrassing. I'd like to see a rematch between those 2 teams. Right now, USC looks like the second best team in the country.
Well, I'll agree with you there. It begs the question, what were they watching in practice, though? I know Brown was highly touted. It's night and day with Darnold.
It really is. He's been really impressive. That's all I got. He's really impressive. What do you say? What were they watching in practice? They were watching the number 1 QB recruit in the nation, and giving him his chance. And the non-number one QB recruit in the nation got his chance, and he's been the better of the two. Darnold's phenomenal.
Yep. You have any interest in the future odds now, the updated odds, golf odds? Jeff Sherman at the Westgate here in Las Vegas, Superbook. Alabama, we can put that up. Alabama 5-7, Ohio State 2-1. There's Clemson, Michigan. Well, I don't know what the hell's going to happen. I mean, in terms of what they do now with Washington, if they win the Pac-12, will they take 2 from the Big Ten? They catch a break with Louisville getting beat. I don't know what they're going to do.
No, me neither. Again, these odds, let's call them what they are. They're for entertainment purposes only. The sharp money does not bet these type of wagers without a significant overlay. I don't see one in these numbers.
Do your research before you bet. Check out our ratings guide to see which books have the best ratings and sign-up bonuses. Open up several accounts and shop for lines at sbrodds.com. Always be ahead of the game.